Does your employer have to have a menopause policy by law in the UK? Well, the answer might surprise you. So I'll just go through quickly what the law says now, but more importantly, what the law is going to change to. If you work somewhere where you wish there was a menopause policy and you've been wondering about this, well, listen up and watch this post because you might find it interesting. And yeah, my name's Jen, I'm 52, and I rant about the menopause and I share tips, hacks, and my own experience of going through the menopause. And if it sounds like my content might be useful, then drop me a follow. And if you think this post is interesting and you were wondering about a menopause policy, drop a comment on the post. What experience have you had at work? Has your employer got a menopause policy? Do they take any notice of it? Yes or no? I would love to hear from you. In short, no, your employer does not have to have a menopause policy by law, regardless of the size of organisation. Regardless of what you've heard, it doesn't matter how big an organisation is, you do not have to have a menopause policy in place. However, things are changing. The ACAS website has a great page dedicated to the menopause with lots of different sections on it. For example, the menopause and the law says employers should make sure they have steps, procedures and support in place to help staff affected by the menopause. So there is already guidance out there. That said, new law is being passed through Parliament as we speak, and it's the Employment Rights Bill. In this, there's a few things that are related to the menopause, but one thing that it's going to bring in is it's going to make it mandatory for employers of 250 employees or more to have what they call menopause action plans, which I assume means possibly a menopause policy. However, it doesn't cover employers that have less than 250 employees, which is a bit disappointing. But this new bill also builds upon the laws around flexible working, because from April 2024, you could request flexible working from day one in your job, and this new bill will build on and expand on that. So it's going to make it much more difficult for an employer to refuse a flexible working request. For example, if you want to do hybrid or remote working, they're going to have to give you a very good reason why they can't give it to you.